Harigani.
Harigani. Hi, everyone. It is ShaRhonda
And Brian.
and we are the owners of the House Academy, and we do education and training around Black history and anti-racist work. And so we are excited to be working with Reflect Media on this Kwanzaa series and highlighting some of our ancestors that were heroes and sheroes of this movement and embody the essence and words of each day of Kwanzaa. So today we're on
day four.
Day
Day
four.
four. Ujamaa.
Ujamaa.
Cooperative economics, and how you use your economics to uplift your community, to build businesses, and to unite the community through economics. So yesterday we started talking about cooperative responsibility and work, and that was Ujamaa. Today, Ujamaa is really about cooperative economics and how you come together to use your economics to uplift your community. And today, our person is
Madam CJ Walker. Yay. Madam CJ Walker really is, and Brian and I struggled a bit to find and to think of who best embodied these. And so Madam CJ Walker came up, one, because she was economically successful. She was the first self-made woman millionaire in the United States of any race, Black or white or Latino, whatever. She was the first one, but so much of her model had to do with building on Black business and building up local representatives. So yes, she did hair care products, but what was more important is that she trained over 20,000 women throughout the country to also sell those products, her products, and to also teach Black women how to use their hair and to use these products. So she became a millionaire and very successful, but the entire model was built on community and providing jobs and providing income for people that are doing this work. And I think that with Black hair, it's just always been big industry, right? But we haven't always been in control of that. I don't even know if we're in control of it now.
No,
A little bit.
Yeah, right now I think some of the smaller companies are, but when you think about the bigger names, actually they've all been bought out by foreign companies. So unless you're talking about someone who's got a smaller hair care line that's under like a subsidiary of a larger one, we really don't own the major ones anymore.
And so that's why it's important to highlight Madam CJ Walker, because she really embodied this idea of collective wealth, right? Like collective jobs. And not only should our purpose, if you are into business, if you want to make money, your mission can't just be for you personally. It has to be also to uplift your community and provide jobs to others. And that's what she so wonderfully did throughout her life. And it made her successful. It made the community successful. And we just owe so much to her. And so many people I know now that sell, Mary Kay, I was saying, or Arbonne, or different things. And that was Madam CJ Walker's model. That was like in the 1920s. And it was incredible. And I think that for Black people, it is very tempting to work for someone else. It is very tempting to sell our intellectual property and our stuff over to a bigger company for them to do the work, or to take on more of the risk. But it doesn't do anything for nation building. And if we're going to do nation building and really look at how we help Black people overall, we have to own businesses. We have to have businesses that provide jobs for people in the community. And so Madam CJ Walker really embodied that.
Definitely. I would just tag on that and just say that one of the most important things that we can do to uplift our community financially is to make sure that we are doing our very best to shop locally. You hear that all the time, shop locally. But, people often forget that, just because you're shopping locally doesn't necessarily mean that you're helping out your Black community. You might have a local, Home Depot that might be fantastic, or Menards, but then there might be a little small Black-owned hardware store that you could, also visit. And so I think people think of shopping locally, but they're still going with the bigger names, the bigger companies, and they neglect those smaller stores that might not have maybe the selection, but they build relationships, and they're much more likely for you to be able to knock on their door and say, hey, I've got a 16-year-old at home, can you give them their first job? Because that's what has really built our community up in the past, having our own small Black businesses and having our own, if you look at the success stories, for instance, like Tulsa, that I think is most recently brought to light, because people talked about the Tulsa riot that happened 100 years ago, or Rosewood, where people talk about these Black Wall Streets. It's not that Black people did well financially by working for another race of people. It's that they had their own business districts, and it's that interconnectedness that keeps the money in your community. We've all heard the tales of how, the Black dollar leaves the community within 45 minutes, but yet it can turn over, multiple times in other communities. And people say, well, why does it matter? Why does it matter? And it's because when you have those financial resources where people have money in a sense that they can count on, that they know that if you have a newspaper that you're trying to run, that you're going to a Black printer to do it. And you've got a Black delivery service, and you've got, all this interconnectedness in your community. That's what helps the community thrive financially, where there's, yes, an interdependence, but from that comes a sort of unity. Some of that comes a financial stability.
So those are the two things that we wanted to highlight. And it sounds simple to say buy Black, but it's so important. And it's one of the most direct actionable steps that all of us can take in embodying the principles of Kwanzaa, is to buy Black, support Black business, support Black leaders, and almost be dogmatic about it. If you're looking for a book, find a Black bookstore. If you're looking for a restaurant, I mean, that's the only reason why I go to Uncle Remus so much. Is because,
it's about supporting the community.
It's about supporting the community
and your fried chicken needs or whatever. But and like you said, it does sometimes take a little extra work. Sometimes if you're looking for a clothing store, or you're saying, I want to find a book, you might have to put in a little extra work, but you might find yourself making a good relationship with that person, where sometimes when as you've often found, word of mouth is great, and you don't always have that personal relationship with some of these bigger companies. And who's more likely to say, okay, well, if I know you're going to keep coming back to my business, maybe I can give you a deal, or perhaps we can do business in the future. You can't just call up Jeff Bezos at Amazon, or, the head of Home Depot, and have that same relationship. And oftentimes when you have a smaller business, a smaller Black business, once they know that you're a patron, that relationship can really foster a good financial relationship in the future.
Yes. So, hey, Dominica, Uncle Remus, I miss you, my friend. Oh, it's over. All right. Happy Kwanzaa.
Happy Kwanzaa.